This is the last of my chili growing videos, and I'm just here in the polytunnel, and you can see here, this is last year's guajillo, which is the only one that actually survived of all the plants I tried to save. So I replanted it, and actually I have harvested some green chilies off it. These other ones here are newer ones that I planted this year. They were saved seeds from the chilies from last year. And then I have some sweet bell peppers here. Love apple. They never do that great, but there's a few. Now, on to the really interesting bits and pieces up here. These are this year's Bolivian hairy chilies, and you can see there's a lot of flowers. So I planted them this year, but so far they're slow to actually set fruits. But when we get up here, there are some. There's one there. You see it's quite small. There. But when we get up to this area here, these are last year's plants here. These are ricotos. I only know that because they don't have the hairiness of the Bolivian hairy chilies, and the fruits are pointed. Now, somebody gave me those seeds, so they're definitely different from these other ones that are, you can see them, they're quite round. That's Bolivian hairy chili. Now these are all last year's plants, and they're really well ahead of this year's planting. So I saved these over in the house, as I explained, and replanted them. And now these two here are still in their pots. And we can see some nice fruits coming there. And I think there is a little bit of ripening. However, the ones that I kept two in pots, two Bolivian hairy chilies in pots, in the link, and it's a little bit of a join up between two houses, which is a bit like a porch, and it has a bit of extra light, so I kept them in there. And the first one ripened on the 3-year-old plant, September the 2nd. So that to me is a long way ahead of where I'd usually be. So I'm going to keep saving these plants, because obviously the longer you save them, the better they get. Now the other plant that was also in the porch, it's 2 years old, and like these ones here in the pots, and it has a ripening chili on it now too. So definitely well ahead of myself this year. Normally I'd have to cut these plants, cut the whole branches off and take them in sort of November time, before the frost comes. Take them in, hang them up, let them dry in the house, and that would be the only way I'd actually get them to ripen. So to have ripe chilies here in Tyrone is in September, the beginning of September, is, I think, a success for me anyway.